I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. I'm a little bit late doing this one. Reason being is because I wasn't actually going to do it. The only reason why I've decided to do it is because I've kind of got nothing else to do for, like, right now. I will have a Road to Glory out later today. We've got a lot to do on there. I didn't have the time to cram it into the sort of time space that I had, so I've had to sort of delay it a little bit, which gave me a little bit more time to prep it. I want to do a real life video as well. I've been recording things for that, so that might be out tonight, hopefully, and of course another 6 o'clock content. But I decided to do Danilo because he looks like a very good card. There are a couple of problems with him here or there. I would say problems, but you know, there are a couple of things that I would like to be changed or I would love to see improved. Of course, this is a showdown card, so there is every chance that he will be. And of course, he is playing for the team who are the favourites to win. Juventus? Piemonte Calcio? What are we saying these days? Juve against Lazio, of course. Lukaku review went up yesterday. Very, very good utility player. Off the bench in particular, I mean, you can literally play him anywhere. Go check out the review if you are interested. But in terms of this card, the right back, I think you've got a really solid option here. And I am going to use the term endgame a lot during this video because, let's be honest, most of, if not all, the Summer Heat cards that come out are endgame, and Danilo is absolutely no exception. 3-star skills, 4-star weak foot, high attacking work rate, medium defensive, lean body type, and 6 foot. Absolutely no trait to speak of whatsoever, which is very disappointing. There is a trait there, but it's CPU only, which is pointless in my opinion. There's just absolutely no need to tell us that. Or make them just in general, not just CPU related. It's long shot taker. I don't really know why that's only CPU. I suppose he's more frequently likely to take long shots, but maybe just give him the trait where his long shots are slightly more accurate. That would maybe make up for it. I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, 90 acceleration, 94 sprint speed, 86 agility, 81 balance, 99 reactions and ball control, with 92 dribbling and 87 composure. Pretty good shot power there at 96. I mean, that's nearly maxed out. And of course, we have 84 long shots as well as okay attack position, actually. 83, not bad. His passing is good and bad at the same time. His vision is poor, which does hinder him at times when trying to play it down the line. Talk more about that when we get to it. But crossing's good. So if you do end up on the overlap, get in and around the penalty area and you're able to play it across, you're going to get an accurate pass. His short passing is 93, crossing at 92, means that, like I said, drilling it across the penalty area, whether it be with a low-driven pass or a low-driven cross or a crossing general, then generally speaking, you're going to be fine. With the defensive stats, not an awful lot wrong with it. I mean, his heading isn't great, but who cares? Because how often do you have to header the ball in this game, let alone have a fullback header the ball? Corners that are whipped in, probably the only time you ever have to worry about that, which, to be fair, I rarely face a whipped-in corner these days. People tend to play it short all the time, myself included, actually. 97 interceptions, 95 defensive awareness and stand tackle, and slide tackle, with really good physicals as well. Would be nice if the stamina was just a touch higher. I know 90 is nothing to turn your nose up at, but a little bit higher in the stamina would allow me to just run up and down the wing constantly. As you may or may not know, I tell my fullbacks to stay back while attacking, but I still have them on overlap, and then I manually tell them to jog on, basically, go on a run. I either use them, and I actually do pass out to them, or I will just use them as a decoy, and people will tend to go and mark them, make sure that they've got him covered, and I go the other way, and they're not even paying attention. So that works quite a lot, very handy, but you know, 90 stamina's fine. It's just toward the latter stages of the game, you're not really able to do what I do at the beginning and the middle, whereas I am with players who have 99 stamina. And of course, with, I would say with lesser work rates, but high medium isn't bad at all, especially for someone who likes to go forward and who is capable of going forward like Danilo is. Now, his strength is very good, despite the lean body type. I would recommend sticking a chem style on him that is going to improve the balance. I don't really know which one of them I would go for, because you have very little option, because you obviously want to try and boost the defensive stats because he's a defender. Makes sense, right? But then at the same time, so for instance, if you go for a Guardian, you do turn him into a 96 rated right back, but you don't hit the balance, you only hit the agility. If you go for I'm trying to find one that actually does, Artist, but you don't hit the defensive stats. Shadow don't hit the defensive stats. Anchor's the same, Gladiator's the same, Backbone's the same, and Sentinel's the same. You don't have an awful lot of option. In fact, you don't have any option to improve the balance and the defending, which does suggest to me that maybe that is somewhat of a meta. If EA don't allow you to boost these via a chem style, is there a reason for it, is my instinct. Because surely there should be a way to boost everything you want together. But on this occasion, balance and defending doesn't sound like something that would be too overpowered, but apparently it is. So you have to make that decision. Do you boost passing and balance and maybe top up the dribbling and the agility by giving him an engine, maybe make him a little bit quicker? Or do you go for that Guardian, whereby you give him the extra agility, composure, dribbling, but you also bump up the defensive stats all to 99? Turns him into a 96 rated right back, whichever one you decide to go for. I myself went with the cheaper option, which was the Guardian. I may in time decide to go for an engine, because that pace would not be too shabby actually. But Guardian, nice, cheap and cheerful one, because I don't know whether he's going to stay in the club. I did him with the intention of, I wouldn't say replacing Trent. Basically, if you follow the road to glory, you know exactly what I've done here. And this probably wouldn't have been any surprise to you whatsoever. But I have a full past and present Liverpool team on my road to glory. But I also have a main team. Now, my main team has 3, at the moment, technically 4 Liverpool players in it. Firmino, Fabinho, Trent, and Alisson. And all 3 of the outfield players are, of course, the best versions that you can get of that particular card. So 2 summer heat and a team of the season. I want to keep those to strictly the Liverpool team. Therefore, I want to try and build into something a little bit different. I did Danilo there. He links in with Militao. You can link him in with Mertens. You've got an awful lot of option when it comes to putting Danilo, or rather I have, into my team. Links with other leagues, links with the same league, and you've got an awful lot of players that can do that. So in terms of links, and the reason why I did it in the first place is because he just fit the team a little bit and it gave me an outlet. With that being said, that's why I'm not sure whether I want to put a better chem style on him, because of course I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep him. I was just testing him out. Turns out he is absolutely fantastic. There is nothing wrong with this card, in my opinion, apart from maybe, and you could argue that I am nitpicking here, and I would not disagree with you in the slightest, it would have been very nice to have better vision. And that is, quite frankly, the only thing I can think of. I mean, the balance, yeah, I'd like to boost it, but it's not the end of the world. Especially, I think if I can sacrifice the defensive stats, because realistically, in FIFA, you don't need defenders as such. You don't need them to have good defensive stats. You need them to be strong, high agility and balance, with pace, and the ability to jockey and cut passing lanes. So what you realistically need is defensive awareness more than you need anything else. Now, fortunately, Danilo's defensive awareness is already 95. So if I gave him the engine, if I plan to keep him over time, we get better balance and agility, we improve the vision, albeit up only by 5, and then we get that little extra pace boost. I think that would benefit him more than the Guardian. Like I said, I wasn't sure before I started whether I wanted to keep him or not. But the vision for the outside of the, down the line passes, I guess, when you send your wingers. So I'm sending Sancho on a run, for example. I want to bend the ball, so RB or R1 and Y to give him like a bending through ball. And what that does, it just arches the ball or arcs the ball around the guy trying to cut the passing lane, so the attacker or the defender, whatever it may be, and it sends it up the line. With Danilo, he can do it, and you would have seen evidence of that in the review. He can do it, he can. But a lot of the time, and I maybe even go as far as say is 40% of the time, the ball would maybe just wander out of play, and I think it came down to the vision. It's not like every time you play that through ball, it's going to go out of play, but if you try and play one from deep, and you're playing it long, you're going to need to have very accurate vision. And unfortunately, Danilo suffers from that. So it's the only thing I can really pick out that is a problem. Especially if you were to put an engine on him, I feel like you'd get a lot more out of him because of that balance. And that little bit of vision boost might just be enough, which is obviously something that you don't get with a cheap chem style like the Guardian. I want to know in the comments what you think of this card. Have you completed it, and are you hoping that he gets boosted? I am, because I think if Juventus win and he goes to a 95, I can see that vision going up to 80 without me having done anything. And then if I put the engine on him, like I said, he'll have 85 vision, and that, I think, will be the difference between me keeping the card and me dumping it into another SBC. Let me know what you think of it in the comments, whether you've completed it, whether you haven't. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.